You think condoms and birth control pills are modern inventions. Think again. For thousands of years, humans have tried every imaginable way to avoid pregnancy. But those methods weren't just bizarre, they were downright terrifying. Imagine this: inserting crocodile dung into the body, tying weasel testicles to your thighs, or drinking alcohol infused with animal genitals, all just to prevent having children. Sounds insane. It is. But this is real history, and you're about to uncover 9 of the most haunting contraceptive methods ever used by mankind. By the end, you'll be thanking science for saving us from these waking nightmares. Crocodile dung, the rotten barrier of ancient Egypt around 1850 BCE. In Egypt's famous medical papyri, like the Kahun papyrus, a bizarre contraceptive formula was recorded. Mix crocodile dung with sticky paste, mold it into a thin disc, and insert it deep into the vagina before sex. The ancient Egyptians believed that dried crocodile feces would form a mechanical barrier, acting like a shield to block sperm, alter the vaginal pH, making it inhospitable to sperm cells. Remember, Egyptian civilization was highly advanced in both medicine and magic. They believed the human body was a sacred fusion of divine and natural forces, so using holy animal substances like feces wasn't strange, it was ritual. But from a modern standpoint, this method was nightmarishly dangerous. Severe infections from bacteria in the dung, mucosal damage, potentially leading to infertility or death. Picture a night in a pharaoh's palace. Royal concubines quietly preparing their crocodile dung shields before being summoned to the king's chamber. This wasn't just birth control, it was a chilling testament to how women sacrificed their health in submission to royalty and survival. Weasel testicles, the medieval talisman of terror in medieval Europe. Reproductive knowledge was smothered by religion and superstition. One of the most disturbing methods of birth control involved tying weasel testicles around a woman's thighs or waist before intercourse. In folklore, the weasel symbolized agility, evasion, and elusiveness. People believed that wearing this weasel charm would make a woman's body just as slippery and ungraspable to pregnancy as the animal was to a hunter's trap. Some texts even claimed, when a man sees weasel testicles on a woman, he becomes distracted, aroused less, and the act is shortened, thus lowering the chance of conception. Of course, this was nothing more than a mystical ritual with no biological effect. But it reveals a powerful truth. In that era, people trusted magical charms over anatomical knowledge. Onion juice, the 15th century French and Italian sex repellent. Around the 1400s, in France and Italy, women passed down a pungent yet simple method of birth control: drinking raw onion juice before meeting a man. Why? The overpowering stench of their breath would kill the mood, drive men away, and sometimes prevent intercourse altogether. It was a form of long-range defense. Not biologically effective, but psychologically strategic. But consider this. What if the man wasn't put off by the smell? In that case, the method failed completely. That's why many historical records note, half-jokingly, some children were born with breath as foul as their mothers. Beaver testicle liquor, the ancient Canadian fertility blocker among certain tribes in ancient Canada. It was believed that drinking alcohol infused with beaver testicles could temporarily render women infertile. This belief stemmed from magical thinking. Beavers, with their powerful teeth, could gnaw through trees. Therefore, their genitals were thought to carry the symbolic power to cut off fertility. There's no scientific proof this ever worked. The taste and smell of beaver testicle liquor was so revolting that it probably deterred intimacy on its own. The risk of poisoning was dangerously high. Metal rings, a deadly gamble. In 19th century Europe, a bold innovation emerged. inserting metal rings into the vagina to block sperm. This was one of the earliest concepts resembling the modern eye, but back then, there was no understanding of hygieno-sterilized tools, no antiseptics. The result? Severe infections, vaginal or uterine perforation, countless deaths. Why did women still risk it? Because in 19th century European society, women had little control over their lives. Continuous pregnancies meant poverty, disease, or dying in childbirth. Some were willing to gamble with death to avoid bringing another child into the world. Pig intestines. The reusable condoms that'll make your skin crawl. From the 17th to 18th centuries, European men used condoms made from pig or sheep intestines, one of the earliest effective mechanical contraceptives. But they came with chilling drawbacks. Extremely expensive only. The wealthy could afford them reused multiple times after only a quick rinse, dramatically increasing the risk of infection. One British medical account tells of a gentleman who contracted severe syphilis after sharing a pig intestine condom with his friends at a secretive party. Vaginal doshing. A 1,000-year illusion across many cultures. Women believed that forcefully doshing after sex would flush out sperm and prevent pregnancy. In reality, sperm can reach the uterus within 30 seconds. Once past the cervix, no amount of rinsing or jumping can expel them. Not only is it useless for contraception, but douching disrupts the vaginal microbiome, leading to infections and increasing the risk of infertility. Lemon-soaked sponges. The sour weapon of ancient Jewish women. Ancient Jewish women believed that inserting a sponge soaked in lemon juice into the vagina before sex would kill sperm. And in truth, citric acid can destroy sperm cells. But the cost was brutal. Burning pain and damage to the vaginal lining. Prolonged use could lead to permanent infertility. Old records describe many women who, in old age, suffered chronic pain, victims of a method they had trusted for years. Sneezing. Ancient Greece's weirdest birth control exercise, Soranus, a famous Greek physician from the 2nd century, once advised, after intercourse, a woman should stand up quickly, jump several times, and sneeze forcefully to expel the semen. It sounds like a joke today, but many women back then took it seriously. Needless to say, it had absolutely zero biological effect. These aren't just strange stories from the past. They're reminders of how far people will go when fear and survival are on the line. They shoved crocodile dung into their bodies, drank foul animal parts, and risked deadly infections, all for the same reason people today buy a pack of pills or a box of condoms to take control of their lives. Now ask yourself, centuries from now, will our descendants laugh at today's modern birth control the same way we laughing at these ancient methods? If you think today's contraceptives are tough, just be glad you weren't born in a time when avoiding pregnancy could literally kill you.